accepts everyone. No matter where you're from, no matter what you're trying to do, there's a place for you here.
Everyone is different, so that, in a way, is how you fit in.
People from Oakland, like, they back you no matter your culture.
I didn't even know that LGBTQ+ was a thing before I moved to Oakland.
Oakland is one of the most expensive cities in the country with a gigantic wealth gap and rampant gentrification. And yet somehow, it remains one of the most evenly diverse populations with robust cultures from all over the world. It's known for being one of the most progressive cities in America. It's a sanctuary city for immigrants and is on the forefront of community organizing, social justice, and mutual aid programs. The history of Oakland runs deep in the communities of color, and people are welcomed into Oakland no matter who they are. If you're from Oakland, you're proud of it, and to be from Oakland, you are of Oakland.
Student,
artist,
Native,
Black,
Latino,
Asian,
biracial, queer,
immigrant,
ally,
woman,
man,
non-binary,
activist,
gender
mom,
non-conforming,
musician, youth.
I am a Black woman, but with that, I am kind and soft and powerful. I am a million things wrapped in brown skin. The last, however, will almost always be the first thing that new people notice of me. It has been the first thing people notice about all people like me in America since we were brought here. Growing up, my mom and my dad, the issue of race has always kind of been brought up. I know my mom would always point out things on TV. I remember watching things like Family Feud and stuff like that, and I would always want to root for the Black families because I saw myself in them. I know who I am, but it is not me I am worried about. I am worried about those who will only see my skin color when the flashing lights accompanying a siren aren't from a camera.
When I sit down to write, I like to think about basically whatever is bothering me. Since my mom died, I've been in therapy, formulating how I feel and my thoughts, seeing how I feel in my body is something that I try to think about a lot since I've been in that. And when I write, it definitely helps me figure out how I'm feeling. And sometimes I'll just start writing and I'm not even realizing that I'm feeling this way, but it sort of just comes out as the pen touches the paper.
Labels are frustrating. I don't know what I can call myself. It's been a reoccurring issue in my life. My mom's Filipino, my dad's white, and when you're mixed, it's really confusing, and you can't really call either culture your own because you're not enough of anything. I was at a club in school, and we played a cross the line game where you cross the line when someone says a statement that applies to you. And the statement was, I am a person of color. Holy crap. I panicked. I said, oh shoot, what do I do? Except I didn't say shoot. And everyone looked at me, all my friends, the teachers, other students, and they said, it's up to you. You choose. And I don't know if I broke the rules of the game or if this was okay, but I just kind of put one foot over the line and my other foot was behind the line, and I just kind of held this power stance.
But would you consider me a person of color?
That is so hard. I don't feel comfortable telling you what groups you belong in and what groups you don't belong in. That's not my place. So whether you're a person of color, I think is up to you, and I think it depends on the context. Right? There are some ways, I suppose, that your life is very white, and there are other ways where your life just isn't. The labels are kind of meaningless. I know who you are. So what labels you choose for yourself it's your decision.
Oakland has long been a land of opportunity that welcomes people from all around the world. For generations, people have moved here seeking opportunities and a better life. Because of that history, young people growing up in Oakland are immersed in a city where there's space to explore their own culture and learn from others. Whether deepening their connection to their ancestors or discovering new communities that they connect with, there's a place for everyone.
So my mom came here while being pregnant for me. So from Guatemala to the United States. So I was born in the United States and I've come to enjoy both cultures. This is my little cousin. This is my mom dressed up in her cultural clothing. This is my little sister. And that's me in my cultural clothing too. When I look at this picture, it reminds me back in the days when I used to get dressed up in my cultural clothing a lot. And we used to go like to marimbas and stuff. She always described me as her like little toy like that. She could dress me up and stuff. So yeah. ¿Y extrañas a Guatemala?
Sí, extraño Guatemala mucho.
Mucho.
Es muy, muy bonito Guatemala, hermoso, muy rico en sus tradiciones. Por eso que mucha gente tiene que emigrar para Estados Unidos por la pobreza que existe en Guatemala.
Sí, porque aquí a veces adolescentes no se sienten conectados con su cultura o a veces ni están embarrassed de su cultura.
Hay que sentirse orgulloso de donde vienen, porque son lugares ricos en costumbres,
Ricos en sus propios
tradiciones,
aspectos, ¿verdad?
que son países pobres, lamentablemente por el gobierno,
Sí.
porque no valoran
Ajá.
lo que tienen que valorar.
Digo que tengo dos culturas como las grandes, que es Guatemala y América, Estados Unidos. Ajá. ¿Qué crees de eso? ¿Crees que no deberías de apreciar los Estados Unidos? Porque hay varias personas que dicen que es un mal país. ¿Tú crees que yo no debería ser orgulloso también de nacer
No,
aquí?
debes de sentirte orgulloso porque tú naciste aquí, tu cultura es esta, pero también parte de tu cultura es la de tus padres. Y entre más sepas sobre más culturas es mejor.
For the first years of my life, my cultural identity revolved around my home country, the Philippines. But we were different from your average Filipino Christian household. We never did the sign of the cross, we never had religious relics or rosaries, but we still believe in God. And we were still considered Christians, just a different kind. The kind where women were not allowed to cut their hair because it was considered as a cloak. The kind to never wear jewelry, never wear makeup, and to always dress modestly. I always thought that I was bound to marry a man when I'm older. My beliefs were limited. Until I moved to Oakland.
Ano mga differences and similarities nung bata pa ako tas ngayon?
Similarities marami. Chubby ka, mahilig ka kumain hanggang ngayon. Tapos smart, yan, simula nung bata ka pa, magagandang mga grades mo hanggang ngayon. Hindi mo pinapabayaan yung mga gaaral mo. Siguro differences yung nung bata ka pa, masunurin ka.
So I'm gonna interview my dad and talk about religion and stuff like that, and the LGBTQ plus community, because I'm queer, but they don't know that. Well, like, my family and I are close, but talking about feelings and stuff like that, no. So I guess this is like a big leap. I'm kinda scared. Ano yung views nung dating daan about sa LGBTQ plus community?
Kung ano yung sinabi nasa Biblia, yung lalaki tsaka babae, kasi yun ang lapat. Hindi pwede na ang lalapat lalaki tsaka lalaki, ang babae at babae. Pero hindi sinasabi ni Brodelli na hindi siya
Against?
hindi siya against, dahil may tao talagang ganun. nilikha rin yun eh. At ang sabi, lahat ng nilikha na ng Diyos, lahat ng bagay na nilikha ng Diyos, mabuti.
So, kunyari kapag Samuel, bakla. Okay lang sa'yo, ganun.
Okay lang.
Eh ako?
Tomboy ka ba? Ha?
Hindi tomboy, parang lang. Queer, ganun.
Ano?
Queer!
Ano ibig sabihin ng queer?
May, parang pwede magkagusto sa babae, tapos pwede magkagusto kahit kanino.
Oh.
Okay lang, ganun.
Okay lang, oh.
Uy.
Oh, yung tomboy, okay yun. Nilikha yun ng ano.
Ako nga, okay lang. Ikaw sa akin.
Okay, oh.
Kahit kunyari magdala ka ng kunyari girlfriend, gano'n.
Girlfriend? Eh, kung halimbawa pigilan ba kita, may magagawa ako?
Wala.
Wala akong magagawa, di ba?
When I came out to him, when I said I was queer, I was actually very relieved because it's nice, it's really nice, the feeling of your family accepting you. It's a weight just, a weight just lifted off my chest and shoulders.
The youth of Oakland have a unique experience to the city because unlike adults who migrate here, they have grown up and had to face many different challenges and hardships that come with being in such a diversified community. Growing up in Oakland, some kids are exposed to things that you would not be exposed to just 30 minutes outside the city. At a young age, you learn about people of different ethnicities, religions, and economic statuses, and in turn, they are also forced to learn about you. With that, the children of Oakland have a natural instinct to understand the people around them, even if they might not resemble each other at all.
And my mother came in, as an immigrant, and she had it rough, when she tells me her stories and stuff, some things that happened during the way from her country to over here and stuff. And it's crazy, and seeing people that don't want to have immigrants come into this country, right, that just want to find a better job. I know one or two people that have had a family member or a close one that has gotten deported. I could be there for them because I know how it feels.
With Trump and deporting people, felt empathy for the people going through that. There are people close to me who were personally dealing with that, so that was really hard. My friend groups have always been really diverse. One of my best friends, she is Mexican, and whenever there's a family quinceañera or something like that, she always takes me to those.
There's so many different people here. There's so much diversity racially, there's so much diversity mentally, there's so much diversity within the LGBTQ community that there's so many communities and places here that'll say, hey, it's not weird who you are. Everything's a spectrum. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to not choose a label. We love you regardless.
And I would never be confused if I'm too much of one or the other, because I love both cultures, and that is what builds me.
I had other parts of me that I didn't even know existed because they were so hidden and so pushed back by my old beliefs. But Oakland reached deep inside me and brought that out.
You can find anything here and be anything here, and that makes me happy.
Because in Oakland, it doesn't matter, how you were born, where you come from, all that. What matters is the person who you choose to be.